was, we had some issues with this air conditioner condensing and dripping. So we were going to I went to reinsulate it a couple days ago and found out that the insulation on the refrigerant lines was completely missing up in the attic above, up in there. And then I started seeing feces from raccoons and bird nests, and we opened up some sheetrock over there on that side and realized that that entire attic, or the bathrooms over there, was just completely ravaged by raccoons and birds and everything else. And then they also got into this entire ceiling area. Obviously you get a job like this, you just assume that everything's kosher, but there was a hole in the side of the house that nobody could see from down below because it was covered. It was open on the other end of it, so you couldn't see that from down below. It's 20 feet in the air on that corner back there. So it's really bad. It's worse than we were expecting. We have to open up the ceiling so the insulators can get up there and pull all the insulation back out. They're vacuuming anything loose. It used to be bats, but you can see the bats are pretty much non-existent anymore. That's what it looks like. It's all just pieces now. It's been completely destroyed. It had been going on for a long, long time. So we opened up like 5 or 6 spots yesterday, and it wasn't enough because of the skylights. They can't get in, so we have to open up a couple more spots today while they're here. And once this gets all cleaned out, pulled out, they're gonna put mesh over the holes that we opened up, and they're gonna blow everything back in and make sure we have the correct venting baffles and got the soffits and stuff like that. So it is what it is. It's got to be fixed. We've still got time frames, but thankfully our insulation company, thermal shop here in Cedar Rapids area, we got a lot of crew, and they were able to get in here pretty quick. This is what this area up here looks like. See, there's the refrigerant lines here that got completely chewed off the insulation, so they're just up there condensing. It's condensating and dripping through. There's no insulation left. It's just totally ravaged over here. See the bird nest back there, that whole corner. Also, we're gonna check the wiring too to make sure the wiring is chewed through and do any repairs on that while we're up there. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise, I guess you could say, because it needs to be checked over here doing stuff. So long story short, we should be able to get the insulation back on that like the way it's supposed to be, because that was the whole point of how we found all that. Rough-in and electrical inspection. Our inspectors in Cedar Rapids are way behind schedule. Like the data centers are a big part of that. They don't have enough inspectors, so can't get electrical rough-in inspection on these 2 walls here until Monday. Unfortunately, today is Thursday morning, so a 3-day business lead time on getting a simple and 10-minute inspection done. Our plumber did get water line brought up into the floor. It's 90 back over. We'll bring that up on the back side of the cabinet, put a stop valve in there for the refrigerator right next to that. Other video shows why we had to come up through the floor. Same thing with the gas. It's a commercial style range stove. So there's a 3-inch clearance underneath of it. 90 back. He's just bringing the gas valve up behind the stove. Got some insulation and sheetrock on just these 3 or 4 stud bays, so the plumber could get the plumbing, water lines and drain lines on the heated side of the house wall, so that's not on the outside wall. Vent is up, insulated, it's out the roof. This vent here, this old sink vent that came across here, picked up the sink in the other room. I came across, that's brought down and retied back in per code into the existing or the new drain line. Insulators are out here. This is it's a nightmare. It's a lot worse than anybody was expecting. But they're shoving some insulation bays, and they're going to be adding the baffles to get our correct ventilation. This soffit here was going to be replaced anyways because it was damaged at some point. So we'll resoffit this lower part here to get that taken care of. But insulators are working on this lower part. They're currently just pulling everything out, cleaning everything out. And then they will mesh it today and blow back in right off the bat, so we won't have to see them again, and we can start back with our other issues. We just have a lot of projects going on. We're getting a little bit of delay being here, but you can see the side of the skylights. They had styrofoam insulation on them, and that's all been completely chewed off. So they were having some condensation issues with these windows because you know, when it's super cold outside and they had heat on in here, they were just getting condensation on the sides of these skylights, which skylights are horrible. If you don't know how to do a skylight right with insulation, just don't do it, because it takes just as much insulation to insulate the skylight as it does your attic. So if you got 16-inch attic insulation, you need to have 16 inches of insulation on around your skylight openings too. So if you're not going to do it right, don't do it. Otherwise, you're going to have issues forever. You can see that skylight there too. All the foam has been chewed through completely. So we're taking these trim pieces down. Unfortunately, there's no super easy, clean way to do it. These are basically what they did was they put the trusses in and they furred the side of the trusses. They furred them out with some furring strips to be able to put these car siding planks between to give like a faux look. I hate to say it, but almost at this point you might as well just sheetrock the ceiling, but I think that's a lot more than putting the floors back in is nothing compared to redoing the ceiling, but it's just a lot of mess. So it's just bad, but it is what it is. That door is locked. Trying to keep some dust control here. Some feces odor out of the house. Owners here are awesome. They've been keeping us stocked with a cooler of Gatorade and waters. There's really great people to work with. But we like to say that about us too. I always tell people that they're fortunate they're working with us instead of other people. So if you work with us enough, you know why. So here's the basement electrical panels I talked about in the video the other day. I said there was 5 electrical panels. There's actually 4. Plus security box, plus the generator system. So there's technically 5 panels there. Plus there's the one in the garage. It's kind of a mess right now, obviously, because we got a lot of construction going on. Basement area here. Plumber's stubbed into the basement. That's all we need to have done for rough inspection, because upstairs is going to be covered. This will not be home runs. Bunch of home runs for the kitchen, the new kitchen stuff there. This is the vent line that we had to bring back from the old sink that will tie back into the drain line. Obviously, if it rains, water is going to trickle out of there. Gas lines are semi-stubbed in. He's just got them draped up for now. There's a 3/4 feeding over that way. He's going to have a manifold here to pick up the fireplace, the range, and the space heater, the room heater here. We started doing some furring down here yesterday, because we're going to spray foam these exterior walls so they're impervious to water. The other thing we're going to do with these basement walls is notice the driveway slopes down. There's a pit here, or a trench, and a sump pump, exterior sump pump. It's the worst idea in the world, but you just don't have a choice when you have that design detail. But we're going to do a 1x6 AZIC PVC trim board on the base all the way around, and we'll put our sheetrock on top of that. That way, if there is an issue where they lose power, or the sump pump fails and there's rain, which just happened just a few weeks ago, if they do get an inch of water in here or something, it won't ruin the drywall. We'll have the treated plate. Worst case, if we get more than an inch of water, or inch and a half of water, then that AZIC can be pulled off. The stud cavities being opened up and dried out, and then there's no harm, no foul. So, and that's the heater put up there. Concrete ceiling. Here's the beams I've talked about. I don't know if I've shown any of this on previous videos, but the 10-inch foundation wall, and then that's just kind of, those bricks are all set in place with mortar, so we just couldn't get through there decent enough. We didn't want to be on the outside wall if we didn't have to anyway, so it kind of worked out. That's kind of it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll keep you updated on the installation progress.